welcome to the lecture about business model innovation. And as I stated, if you have questions, you can just come, raise your hand, and I will take the question as soon as it makes sense for the lecture. Okay. So, what is business model innovation? Do you have an idea? Did you already work with that? Did you already get input to it?
You just started.
From which faculties do you come, or?
Information systems.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. So imagine you are now a developer because you finished your study, and you have a project in development, and it's the same as if you would start a startup. So it doesn't. At the moment, the companies are changing so quickly that even SAP, as a big tanker, 88,000 employees, is now in the need to be more agile. That's why you need agile methods to work with, because you can't stay with your development plan for years. It won't stay the same in 2 years, because market is changing, the needs are changing from customers. New generations come up. I see it with my children. My daughter is 13, my son 17. They have a complete different approach than I have for all digital assets and IoT things, because you were raised with that, You should be more even at school. I think in German schools there's really a need to have a better equipment and to work with iPads. There are the first experiments with that, but it's 10 years too late for me. Yeah. So all my son knows is from gaming, and he had now to pass a test for medicine studies because he would like to become a doctor. And because he had this ability to find the red ball quickly, because he gamed all the time, they said, okay, you don't have to pass all the 20 exercises, 5 is enough. We see you can do that. You can hit the red ball, and that's an exercise to be a surgeon. To be so precise with a laser pointer that you can hit and cut and whatever it is in a surgeon. Yeah. So what you learn is not gaming. For me, it's combining, it's analyzing. If you do it with brain, yeah. And so I never condemned any games or anything. I just looked that the hours are not too much. That you have also the balance between nature, sports, and gaming, yeah, and learning by gaming. I think that's also what Professor Simon is always like a evangelist telling since years. Be open for all the technologies and be open for other methods. Even if you are studying, or because you are studying IT, you will be the backbone of the whole society. We need more informatic masters and bachelors that you can imagine in the industry, and not SAP only. All the customers will need. So we need data scientists, we need AI experts, we need virtual reality experts, and it's still not enough the people who are leaving schools and education institutes for the market. So my thinking is really everybody should be able to work with agile methods, and business model innovation is one. Also for projects as a developer, or if you want to become independent and found your own company. But also in big companies, it will be more and more important. And that's something I would like to give you today, okay? Just an idea, because we can't work on it in a real challenge, but perhaps you can apply that later. I would really like to let you live it a little bit, experience it, okay? So what is business model innovation? SAP has a business model, had a business model, because we had been a startup also in 1974. SAP was founded, and with 5 people coming from IBM, not satisfied with the business model of IBM and with their own possibilities to be creative. So they invented something, and they thought, okay, that's worth to found a startup. What do you need when you found a startup, despite the idea? Any idea?
You need you need knowledge. You need venture capital.
Yes.
You also need some contacts to people who can help you out when you've got a problem. You need a strong team, of course. That's all.
You need flexible resources. Not only one team at the starting point. That's one issue of most startups. They start with 3 people and think, okay, we have covered every skills we need. But then they need to scale or to invest more time in developing the solution, and suddenly they need resources. So that's one thing why I do the matchmaking. I'm also a business angel for startups, because I think you should enable people at a certain point of their journey of the startup in order to make it live. I'm supporting an inventor of it's a sort of balloon, helicopter and airplane combined in one object. It's flying object, but it's not a drone because it's sustainable. It's filled with helium, so it's sustainable. And it doesn't need a lot of battery, It can fly with the wind outdoor whole day if the wind is fine. And it can film, it can also carry medicine, for instance, if you think in villages in Africa, where you don't want to go as a doctor perhaps because there's a virus or something, you can help people by transporting medicine in order to prevent an epidemic. So that's a crazy invention, but the guy doesn't have any business model, if you ask me. I'm now working 1 year already with a team, and it's difficult if you have an inventor that is really it's like a baby for him, his object. He worked 4 years in developing it. It's a holy thing. But if you want to live from that, you have to spread it and you have to sell it. And he doesn't really know where to start, what is my target group, and how. And that's why I help this team. It's a small team of 3 persons also, and he tries now to build satellites and has the first successes in selling, and also the collaboration with our company helps. But then the other side of the medal is, how can I convince my teams at SAP to have the vision, what can you do which business model can you serve also with data and with our solutions for this object. So I have the same selling process internally in our company to convince the right people at SAP, the right IoT team, in order to, how to analyze the data he's collecting by flying over people or over campuses or over companies, plants. What he can also observe solar panels or the sea, or with that he can find even people in regions where there had been a catastrophe, because he can put on a camera, a specialized camera, in order to detect life or people, bodies. So there are several use cases, and now it's the question, what is the right model to start? What is the right niche that this object could serve? And it's the same for SAP, but we don't have one niche. We have several niches, or not even niches. We try to build innovation in IT, be the leader there. And so for us, it's even harder to have the right business model, because we are on stocks. We need to, always to be sure that we do the right things. Failure is not so easy if you're an established company, because then suddenly people say, that was not the right project, you see, you failed. And then it's cut. And you don't get a second chance. If you start with a startup, with your own, or with a project here in your studies, you can fail, you have the right to fail, and learn out of that, take the right decisions afterwards, and then restart, you know that. You always have 2 paths or more that are going in other directions, and the question is to choose the right one. And business model innovation can help you with such decisions, not only for a project like a startup. Questions? So you see, it's not like a technique or like a method only. For me, it's a vision of how you see the economical life, or how you can see projects, innovation projects. Each innovation project is for me a business model. So there have been a lot of business models that had been disrupted or changed. Yeah, like one very easy example is McDonald's. You will all the time need food. Yeah, but McDonald's discovered suddenly they are not coming anymore to our restaurants. And then they started asking people why not, what would be better, and that's something that comes out of the design thinking method, to investigate, to get really empathy for your target group, and to have a broader angle of view than your own and your team. So ask experts from external institutions, as you did for your work also. Ask as much as you can, because then you get a 360-degree vision or perspective of the problem, of the real challenge. Okay? So if you want to solve a challenge with your business model, you need first to know who's my target group, and how can I touch them? Yeah? How can I fill their needs? How can I find a solution for the user that I aim to? And that's the same for every company you see here. Yeah? McDonald's then changed into healthy food, into more, have the experience of socializing, because they put Wi-Fi for free in their restaurants and so on. Yeah? Then they thought, what is the best location for my restaurant? Is it really near the Autobahn, or is it better also to have a restaurant in the city? Then they started to have also restaurants in the city with another concept. They started with a cafe, McCafe. That was new in order to aim at Starbucks. Yeah? So you always can adapt and change your business model. You only have to test it before. And that's what we do also in the method. We establish a business model, and then we test it, we validate it with our potential target groups. One very touching example is, or now you can also take the printers. Yeah? Who needs really a paper anymore and duplicate paper? Yeah, we sometimes need printing. That's not really gone yet, but it will be. There are cities in Asia, there is no posters anymore. It's all digital. The whole publicity is digital. So I think I still have this. I will show you why. I'm a coach, and sometimes I'm with a group of people, of 50 people alone, because I don't have any co-coaches because of lack of time and resources. And that's why I have this analog model, because then I can give it in the teams and can explain the different steps, and you can work in the team independently in your speed, you know. That's why sometimes paper is still useful, perhaps, but it will completely go away. And yeah, what is now about Xerox? I don't know if they still exist. I don't think so. Yeah, they slept too long. And that's a discussion also with the automotive industry. It's a very important branch in Germany. Are they sleeping? Perhaps they don't tell us what they are developing. I have the impression now they come out now with collaborations and with autonomous driving, or collaboration with city cars. Yeah, that's now in Germany. They wake up, but for me, 10 years too late. But perhaps they will win against Tesla, because they investigated more on security. Yeah, Might be. Or they come out with a model of car that is even more connected. Not only a car, but perhaps it's more. There are now developments like to use every level of mobility, also flying, also driving on water or swimming on water, with the same object of mobility of transport. So we'll see who wins and who will be surviving this, because I'm really convinced that mobility will change extremely. When I see the jam every time I come here and go back. Yeah. So these are examples, and I'm sure you know more examples of business models where you had an object or something that helped you, and suddenly the company completely changed. Yeah. Yeah. The next very, I think, demanding example is what will happen with Facebook. I think they have a serious problem with their business model. And the statements they give at the moment, for me, are not satisfying, because I have the impression they are completely surprised by this attack, and they are not prepared how to react now. And I've been hacked. I haven't solved the problem because they didn't help me. They told me, okay, that's interesting that you contact us, but we can't answer every demand and every request, so we are sorry, but we will, in our next products, we will take care of this. So now I don't use it anymore. It's simple. Why? All my friends were angry at me, but I didn't send anything, so no. Yeah, I don't need that. As long as I have alternatives. Of course. So SAP is also innovating all the time, the company, and sometimes or often it's hurtful, because always there are reorgs. Yesterday we had a big announcement of a reorg. Our department also is at the moment involved in a reorg, but we were lucky this time. I'm working at University Alliances, so we take care of the research and innovation and teaching collaborations with universities. We are 50 people and working globally. So in every country we have colleagues, as I said, and we are trying to collaborate closely with the universities and institutions of education, also schools already. We start early, and we were lucky. We are now at the board area, directly at the CEO board area. That can be good. It can also be quite demanding, because then you get directly from Bill McDermott your tasks, and he's not waiting a long time, so you will work night shifts, I don't know, but it's strategic. And that's how they, even at SAP, you can interpret how the departments are moved and who is now responsible or not anymore responsible for any team. And then you see how they try to adjust the whole company, and our main goal is the satisfaction of our customers and to stay innovative brand. And since years we manage that now. Yeah, everybody said that's a German company. In US you never will get any footprint. But now it takes time, but it will come. Yeah, we also now have our customers in US, and the brand is going further and further. And we have also a next gen lab on Leonardo Center. So for our new innovation of solutions, we are promoting in New York, Hudson Yards, in a big store like 1,800 square meters. We have collaborations with HPI, Hasso-Plattner Institute there, then Innovation Center, other local partners that we have, SAP Ventures, so also startups are working there. And you can book the different clubs that are represented there for workshops. So we try to mix the diverse interests and skills that we have there as like a club, like a store, yeah. You can book them tailored for your workshop that you would like to do there. And we have customers, they come now and book that and pay for it. And in order to get innovation in a cool space, very open space, with all the technology you can imagine. We have a collaboration with Apple there, so you can use every gadget even before launching of Apple in order to invent something or find a solution for your branch. And there's every industry coming at the moment. It's a very interesting space. We have also a band there and music, so we try to be empathic also for young people and do like club nights there. Pepper is saying hello to everybody, he's walking around, and we try to be really on the top of what is possible, but we are still, even our company is not there, because there are things they grew, and you have to slowly change them. You can't cut everything in one cut, so that's a very smooth operation that they do, and we nearly move every year. Even locally, if you have an office, you move. And I personally don't go in the office very often anymore. I work where I am. I work a lot at the campuses. Also here, I just can send mails wherever I am, contact people in the car, everywhere where I am. So for me, work and life is now melting, yeah? It's not anymore 9 to 5 and I'm in the office. Not at all. I get the best ideas when I'm not in the office. And not disturbed by anybody asking me something about administration, controlling, HR, whatever. So I prefer to be traveling, be outside, and then I get the best ideas and bring them in again. So I think that what is innovation. Innovation is desirability. As I said, you need to be empathic, you need to know the needs of your customers, of your target group, even an internal target group, When I have to position something internally at SAP, it's like a business plan also, how I proceed, who do I contact, who I do inform before the others, and that the information is already going there. So how do you act? And that's something you need to know about your customer. What is the real need of the customer or of the user? If you do a solution, IT solution, or an app or whatever, what is the real need of the customer? And that's what Aisan also did. She asked the refugees, and not only the two interviews, the two personas you saw. She did a lot of interviews. She asked also the experts, so 360 degree, and now she's sure to know what the refugees need and what we need to help them. That's the desirability. And then you have the feasibility. Is what she plans, is that feasible? Is that technically possible? That's the question. Do we have the resources for it? Then we are here. How much do I invest to get the solution ready, or the app, or whatever the platform, technically? What is needed as not only money, but also, as you said, resources to make the project run, and not only 1 year. Where's the business plan for it? How do I want to scale? How do I want to grow? And what do I need at each milestone that I set myself as a team? And that's then always the question, if the customer is in the center, customer is king, it's a German slogan, what do I need? And I always have to create the choices, the possibilities. As I said, the paths are always going in different directions, and you have to make the choice. So how can I come in a quick manner and cybered manner? How can I come to a choice at every time the path of the project is is going in another direction, or I get hurdles or barriers that I think I can't surmount. So what do I need to get on the next level? And this viability area of the innovation cycle is something you can support with business model innovation. What is a business model? I brought a very simple scheme here for you. In the center you have the value proposition. Yeah? You can see it like that?
Yes.
Mhm.
So you have the value proposition in the center. We always start by the value proposition. And you can say, first, the value proposition is an estimation. Yeah, it's you start with something, and then you have to prove that it's the right one. The value proposition can also should develop in order to be innovative. The value proposition of SAP as a startup with 5 people was completely different from the one we have today, because it's wide more complex now. Yeah? And first we had one target group. Banks and automotive was one of the first target groups we had. And now 98% of all bigger companies in Germany are customer of SAP, so we have every industry, we can say, as customers. But then the challenge is to get them in the deeps. So to get the customers penetrated by all the solutions we can offer, and not only by HR solution or by one financial administration solution, but to offer them the whole complete solution package that we have with SAP, and to prioritize with the customer how to implement, what is the first most important things that they need to implement in order to get their business model supported. Yeah? We have also weaknesses, of course. We are fighting in the CRM area a lot, and we are always attacked in this area because the other companies, of course, feel that there is something they could. Yeah? But luckily, we have the power then, if needed, if we take too long in our innovation development, for some area, then we just try to buy perhaps our competitor or a startup that could grow quickly because they have an invention or solution that is so fantastic and not existing in the market, that together with the force of SAP can help us in that area. Yeah? So these are the examples how you always have to ask yourself, is the business model still the same and still the right one? Okay? So if we start with the value proposition, that's our company, our project, okay? Yeah, you can put in the name. Then you look, what is my customer group? As I said, empathy for your customer or user. Which channel do I need to play in order to contact them and communicate my innovation? And how can I take care of the customer relation? So that's the first part we always elaborate on. Then we test it with the value proposition with customers we just interview, or just let them feel. If you have like a prototype of your app, you can make them play around with it. Like a beta version, you can always test. We do that also internally. And then you can say, okay, if that is my solution, my value proposition is now validated for, let's say, 1 year, yeah, first year. What are my key activities and key resources that I need? As you said, do I have the right team? Do I have the right skill set in my team? And what is if I have other customer groups or more customers? How can I serve them? Do I need other activities, or do I need other partners? So the whole network, what is around you as a company or as a project, is in this scheme. The cost side, yeah, what does it cost, my activities, my partners, my resources, and the revenues. And if you calculate what is the price of my solution or of my offering? Often startups don't think on the price in the beginning. They take what they get and they don't set a price because they are so keen in selling and in having success. But then suddenly they see, okay, the price was too low, I need more partners, more activities in the long run. What do I do now? Can I increase the price suddenly? Perhaps then my whole business model will collapse. And that's often, unfortunately, happening. So better to test first the market with a smaller pilot group and then go broader. Or have 2 different products, go with them. One alumni of SAP, a very good friend of mine, is doing that at the moment. She has 2 products or solutions, but that now her capacities are nearly exhausted because she can't serve both models because both are now prospering. So she needs now to scale her resources and to think how she can spread the company perhaps in 2 even, in order not to be dependent on the success of one or not success and risk the success of the other one. So if it's too complex, it's also a problem. If you think you are a small project team or a small startup team, then it's a question how to prioritize. What's the point where you have to say, okay, as I park the first thing, because I think it will always be an innovation, or it can also be in 2 years I can retake it, and I concentrate on the one as a backbone of my company that is stable, or where I think I have the, not only quick wins, but also on the long-term successes and customers. Then you come in the game with the channels if you are in informatic. I think selling will also be very disrupted in the next years. It's already slowly with all the digital selling, but it will come more, that you have like a bot or like even a virtual person in a store. We had that in one challenge here. Who is selling the things, and not a really person, yeah. So our jobs will change completely. And that's why I tell you are on the right way if you are in informatics, because everybody will need informatics skills. Everybody. You won't be able to live without any connection to the world, yeah. You see it with elder people now, people who never touched a laptop, like my mother.
Alexa gives her a helping hand.
Yeah, but she needs to accept Alexa.
Yes,
That's a trust. It's a trust problem. But my father is still there, and he's the gate to the world. I can't even send her an email. She wouldn't read it. He has to print the emails and bring them to her. She's still expecting letters.
Oh my God.
But I don't have the time. So I try to call more often. Yeah, but that's really, imagine they need to have help, and even help is now digital. Yeah, you have this button you can push if you have really a problem. I think you have installed it already.
Mm-hmm.
So the change is so quick that it's not even expecting this elder generation to be able to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
They never had the chance to learn it, or if they are not open, or not if they haven't been working in the offices. You are more in this change mode, and you have to adapt and upskill. But now it comes into private life more and more and more, And I have a colleague of mine. He has already connected his whole home, even with the car, with everything. Yeah, I have a couple of colleagues. I'm sure that they have smart homes already. So, who has a question for the business model?
No questions?
Was it clear for you? Could you develop one for a project or for an idea you have?
Okay,
Maybe?
we can try.
Yeah. How long do we have time?
11:15, huh?
50?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want, I don't want to force you, but if you would like to start working on a business model, if you have a good idea, yeah, you can do that now for about 20 minutes. Because I think the best is to do it. Yeah. And you start with if you think that the value proposition is in the center, and you as a project team or company, yeah, then you just start to phrase your challenge. What is your challenge? Can you just say it? Or do you want first to work in a group? Brainstorm on it? Okay, I help you. Who would like to work? Can you just say 2 words? What is your challenge about, or your value prop, or your idea?
I have no idea yet.
Because you shouldn't do it alone.
Yes.
You need some resources. It's better to brainstorm.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anybody of you has an idea, you can just speak up and find a team. Yeah, spontaneously, like in the hackathon or InnoJam, and work on it for 20 minutes. And I go around and help you. Okay.